All right, what's going on, y'all? It is episode 2. We 2 weeks in. It's the Kevolution. I go by the name of Kevin Jaxon. I'm glad y'all tuning in this evening. As y'all know, I started an online podcast called the Kevolution RMX. Shout out to my girl Nikki, who actually came up with that name years ago, and I thought that was pretty clever. So I got guest number 2. Now, what I try to do is I like to let the guest introduce themselves. So I'm gonna do that. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the world.
Hello, everybody. I go by Seven Artifacts. It's also the name of my brand. I'm a poet as well, and I also sell merchandise. The Seven Artifacts means completed works are timeless, meaning that my poetry or anything that I do, just like Kevin, I know you have albums and things like that, and even this podcast, because it's recorded, it'll live forever. Even after we're gone, my words, your work, anyone else's work will
Thanks.
live forever. So, because seven means complete, artifacts means timeless. My completed works are timeless, as well as yours and anyone else's.
Well, look, I gotta give you a heads up. The you see all this stuff here. It's a lot of stuff
Yes.
here. I gotta shout out to the design, and I'm not. And we talked a little bit before we started, but one of the things that caught my attention about your design is your stuff feels like an actual clothing line. It feels like
Thank you.
authentic. It feels official because I know a lot of people's in the game now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not a knock on the other people that are doing this, but it just seems like yours has more. It feels more professional. So when you came up with the design, the name, was there any type of concept you had in mind, or did you already have an idea? How did you come up with the name?
Well, actually, at the time, I had a business consultant. We collaborated together. She helped me, come up with some ideas like, what's your vision? What direction you want to go in? She basically, came up with the logo because at first I was thinking seven because I'm from the Tidewater area. I'm from Chesapeake. So
Seven five
seven five
seven.
exactly. But she also added in like you remember seven means complete in the Bible and everything. And that's kind of how we thought of the name. I was like, man, I like that. That's dope. So shout out to Jennifer Good. All Women Win. That's the name of her brand. And actually, she wasn't even going to work with me at first. The only reason why she worked with me is because we have a mutual friend, and she liked the vision that I had for my brand. Because really, like I said, name of her brand is All Women Win. She only works with women, so she actually did me a solid. So shout out to Jennifer. Sad she doesn't work with one-on-one clients anymore, just in case anyone asks you. But she showed me what I need to do to maintain my brand and enhance it, and just things that I needed to do that I need to learn how to do anyway. Because the more you know, the better off you'll be.
True.
So and plus, it's giving me a chance to also seek other people if I need, help with a design or doing something, or just like, how I met you
Yeah.
to doing my video. Lord, thank you for this day. Also, anyone out there, if you need someone to shoot a video, photo shoot, anything for you, hit up my man Kevin
This
Jackson,
is not
Bandit
about
Films.
Look, this is
So,
not about me.
but I gotta give you props though because
I appreciate that.
I got a lot of positive feedback on the video. Like any criticism I had was minor stuff. Like a friend of ours, he was just like, "Oh, where's the cereal box?" I'm like, "The cereal box is there, man."
That's all they got out of it. Where's the serious?
So, well, I remember my cousin. He has a brand too, Culture Kings. Shout out to Culture Kings. It's a men's beard grooming line that my cousin has. He was like, I should have had his robe on when I did the bedroom scene with my fake wife, and we were looking at the TV and everything. He's like, "You supposed to have the robe on, man." But he had a good point though, because we should have had on like nighttime clothes.
That's
like,
true, because that was the end of the day.
exactly,
So
and
yeah,
it was at night, and we still like had on hoodie and jeans and all that stuff, sitting there talking. So he
I
had
didn't
a
even
good
think
point.
about that. That does make sense. That does
We
make
didn't,
sense.
but like I said, we only missed maybe one or two things in that video, and like I said, I have to shout you out because you brought my vision to life.
I appreciate it,
You
but
know,
look, I'm gonna tell you, but it was your vision, and that whole thing was deep.
but everybody
It was
doesn't
deep.
always see your vision though. That's why it was meant for us to connect, because when we were talking, we were on the same page. Like you saw where I wanted to go, and then you added your touch in there too, and it just all came together, because at first, because Lord, Thank You for This Day wasn't even the first poem that I wrote or put out there for sale, or to.
I was about to ask, how did that even come into play? Because I'm sure you got a lot of poems. Like, what was it that made you choose that one to put out like a visual for first?
Because the vision came to me first, and just like how our rappers and athletes, entertainers do when they're at award shows, they always thank God first.
It's like the cliche. Well, not cliche, but that's like the standard.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, it's kind of a way of saying, hey, keep God first. God, has blessed me tremendously, and like I said, that's how the vision came to me, because I just woke up one day and started writing it, because I just realized, like, man, how grateful I am, with everything through, COVID, and, people were getting evicted out of their places, not having enough of their families, things like that. And, I haven't, and I've been blessed. Like, I haven't had to worry about anything, but other people out there have. So I'm like, you know what? I need to be thankful. And even if I didn't, I still need to be thankful, because someone didn't wake up today. Someone couldn't get up and walk around or go out and drive or enjoy this beautiful day. Like, I'm just grateful for every day that I have.
Ooh, man, you about to make me shout, man.
I'm just saying, because I know we all have friends and family members that didn't make it this far.
Especially with COVID.
Even before COVID, but that just made it worse.
Did you get it? Did you ever have it? I did.
Yes, I did. I actually, right before they gave it the title, gave it the name, I had it February 2020.
Oh, yeah, you had the original.
Yeah, I had the original, and it put me down for 2 weeks. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Just I didn't feel like myself. It kind of felt like having like walking pneumonia, but on steroids. And then I had the cough too, the fever. The cough didn't last for too long, but honestly, having the after effects of COVID is worse.
Really, I don't think I got that. Did you have the loss of taste or any of that?
I don't remember having loss of taste or smell, because for one, I really wasn't doing anything anyway, and then I really wasn't even eating like that. So the only thing I was eating, because I didn't have an appetite, was like maybe like crackers, drinking some lemon ginger tea.
Some light stuff.
Yeah, like I was just trying to get back right. So to be honest, I don't even remember if I lost taste or smell, but I had all the other symptoms. I remember that. So, but I finally bounced back. But like I said, the after effects, sometimes you run out of energy quick. Your memory's kind of foggy. You don't recall things as fast as you do. You feel kind of, lazy, get winded fast. I definitely felt that. So,
well, look, we're glad you are here in the land of the living, because there's a lot of people that did not make it, unfortunately, due to that. So hopefully, we're kind of moving in a direction where, I know it's not going anywhere, but at least we're kind of at least in a spot where we're learning to live with it. So I guess that's a good thing.
Right.
So I've had another poet in here before, and it seems like, everybody's got their own way of how they write, how they put stuff together, how they put concepts together. Going in, whether it be your first poem, your second one, do you do it the same way, or is it a specific process for a specific poem, depending on what type of poem you're writing?
Oh, man. Really, it just depends, because I think really it just depends on maybe what I'm thinking about and what I'm feeling at the time. Because when I started, and I just started writing poetry last May, and my first poem that I wrote was "It Doesn't Matter," and I started writing it like on a Saturday night. I finished it by Monday.
Oh,
It
didn't take long.
But it just came to. But I think a lot of the stuff that I'm writing about now has been inside of me the whole time. I think I just found a way to express it. Because just like with It Doesn't Matter, I feel like that was a full circle moment, because I remember back when Nas came out with that song in '96, If I Ruled the World, with Lauryn Hill. And that one line he had, don't matter if you poor and rich, don't nobody want a nigga having shit. You know what I'm saying? And then actually what inspired me to write It Doesn't Matter, I was looking at the Michael B. Jordan movie, Without Remorse. and he had a line in there. I don't remember what he said word for word, but it was kind of like along the lines like, doesn't matter what we do, it doesn't matter, because he served in the military, so it's like he's out there fighting for the country doing X, Y, and Z, but he was still treated as less than because of the color of his skin. So that kind of triggered something in my mind. Next thing I just started writing. So I'm like, wow. So like I said, I really think a lot of this stuff was on my mind for a while. Just found a way to express it.
I got you. So nothing's really ever planned. It's just kind of it might be planned in execution, but not in thought. In other words.
No, it's definitely not planned. Normally it'll just come to me. I might have a vision or whatever, because it's not like I have like a full like book of them. Like sometimes I might write down topics that might make a good poem, but it's like then there's other moments where it actually comes to me. Like I'll think of either like a quarter of it, half of it, most of it, all of it. Like I just gotta jot it down, come up, I had the title and I'll just start writing the lines. And sometimes I'll go back and, tweak some things or make it a little better, or my handwriting's not that great, so I might have to go back like, what did I write right here?
Man, I write like a girl, man. You ain't want to see my hand. I write like a girl.
I thought that's a good thing.
Like when you a guy.
I thought females had better handwriting.
Man, I write like a girl, man. But you were saying, I do. I swear I do. So you were saying that there's no process. So I'm assuming there's times where you're writing a poem, you don't finish it, but you jump onto another one. Or does that?
Yeah, that has happened.
Does that affect your writing of the original poem that you write? So like, let's say you start in one poem, you don't finish it, or you get halfway through, you start the next one, and then in the midst of writing that second poem, it opens up something mentally while you was working on that first one. So now you got to go back to the first one and maybe either start over or change it based off of something that you was thinking of when you was writing the second poem.
I don't think I've ever had to start over, but I did have to go back and tweak some lines.
Is that
or change some lines. No, actually it's not, because when I do that, it's normally for the better. And at most, maybe take out a stanza or switch them around. Because poetry too is also about how it flows. Because sometimes when you're just trying to jot your thoughts down, sometimes everything isn't in order. So you're like, hold up, this sounds better. Second stanza, move this to the fifth stanza. It just depends. And I try to find people to read it to get some feedback too before I set it in stone, before I solidify it, copyright it, and then try to put it out there. So.
Do you think it's oversaturated as far as the poets that's out here? Because the way I look at it as from the standpoint as you look at music, and there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of singers, there's a lot of rappers, and sometimes it becomes congested in a way where there's some people that may not necessarily need to be doing it. But then you look at it in the side of poetry, and it's on the come up. There's a lot of people doing it.
It is.
So at some point, do you feel like, not trying to knock those people, but do you ever say to yourself, it's too many of us, I'm cool with people who have a desire, but if they're not good at it, maybe they should kind of, or do you just welcome it and just, stick to what you're doing? Because I feel like if that happens, I would be frustrated that it's just, they taking up space.
I mean, I welcome it because, you don't ever want to down somebody else or trying to express themselves, because you never know, by other people doing poetry, it might just be a way to express themselves. Like they may not even be trying to sell their poetry or do anything with it. They just want to express how they feel.
What if they are?
Well, if they are, I mean, that's their choice. I mean, because we've seen artists that do music that may not be that great, but they still have success. I mean, it just depends. I mean, if you have a fan base that likes your work, why not? And because it's just like, I know there's got to be some people that I know that probably see me doing this now that were probably doing it way before I was. And they're like, hold up, when did he start doing this? Because, people try to put you in a box.
Yeah.
So
I guess everybody has to begin somewhere.
You do. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta put yourself out there. And plus, another thing too, just because someone may not be that great right now doesn't mean they can't become great.
You got me there.
So
you got me there.
Yeah, because how many entertainers and rappers and singers and along those lines that, you know, they weren't that great at first, but they grew into, I guess, their talent, their skill over time. You know?
That's true. Now I notice you have a lot of these. You have a lot of pictures and frames that has a lot of these poems on here. I know you got the video that you did. Lord, thank you for this day, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of putting your words in a collection, like recording wise, like just recording your work and then releasing it? It's not a bad idea.
No, actually, I have thought about that. I don't even know who or what gave me the idea, but I just thought about that recently. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I feel like I need some more work under my belt before I do that. Like release some more material, and then maybe do something like that. Put it on Spotify, Apple Music, because, you know, someone might get healing or relaxation or something good from just listening to your words. You know, because that's my brand, is to inspire, uplift, and educate our people. Like, I want to put something positive out there. Like, we have enough negativity in the world, and, you know, we get enough, you know, stuff in music sometimes, and I'm not knocking it, because, you know, I still listen to hip hop all day, every day. You know, my favorite artist is Jay-Z, of course, love Nas,
Everybody
AZ,
loves
Snoop,
Jay-Z.
Jada. Yeah, but the most slept on, who's in my top 5, is AZ. I want everybody to know that AZ is one of my
Sugar
favorites.
Hill. Every time
Classic.
I hear Sugar Hill,
Classic.
man,
Even his new album is good.
he's got a new one.
Do or Die too. Love it. Love it. He got some bangers up there too.
Man,
He got some bangers up there. AZ.
He was in the Firm.
Yes. Yes. I actually got a chance to see AZ perform a few years ago down in Virginia Beach. I had to go to that show. And I actually had a chance to take a picture with him, and he autographed a copy of his book I bought from him while he was there. He don't even know, like, he made my day, because I was going through a lot. I just lost my mother and grandmother not too long before that, and he just don't know, like, him just doing that for me just made my day.
He is criminally underrated. Criminally. And then you look at it, you know, the way music is these days. Not trying to shift it into music, but you see the way the music is these days.
Yeah.
It's definitely harder for somebody like him.
Yeah.
But I had no idea there was a Do or Die 2 out.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, he has a deep catalog. Deep catalog.
What year did that come out? Recently?
Either came out, I believe, the end of last year, beginning of this year.
Great.
Yeah, he dropped a single with Jaheim first, The Wheel. So,
I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to.
should.
I'm sure that there's stuff musically that you listen to
Uh-huh.
that you contribute to some of your poetry, some of your writings.
Most definitely. Just like how I said with my poem, It Doesn't Matter. Like I said, I think that definitely was influenced partially by Nas's If I Ruled the World, because of some of the verses he had in there. You know, so I feel like hip hop definitely has inspiration in my writings. But like I said, I'm gonna keep you know, my stuff positive. Like I said, I want the positive stuff out there, the good energy, the good vibes. You know, we need that right now.
Yeah.
We need that right now.
Now going back to this clothing line, and I'm still looking at this stuff here. Like, it's some legit stuff here, and I'm gonna make sure that we get all the information and how you can order this hot gear here. I said hot gear. I'm giving my age away. Hot gear, fresh gear, dripping. That's
drip.
You drip. That's what
You
it is
drip.
now.
Yeah.
How do you come up with the ideas? Because, like I said, everybody does it, but I'm sure you want to go a different path and you try to do things a different way, so it doesn't seem like it's similar to everybody's. But if we put everybody's stuff, kind of line it up, and I put yours here again, I promise I'm not knocking other people that do this. But if you line it all up, it just looks different. I know you had somebody that was, you know, kind of in the corner helping you put this together, but I'm sure you kind of had an idea prior to talking to her as far as what you wanted to do. How do you even come up with different, like, ideas of how to even put out this stuff?
You know what? Actually, I didn't have that much before, because, like I said, the reason I started my brand was mostly for the poetry. I wasn't even trying to sell merch. I really wasn't in it for a clothing line. Like, honestly, I remember I tried to do a clothing line with a couple former friends of mine, like, hold on, I'm telling my age here, about 10, 15 years ago, and it went nowhere.
See, that's crazy.
Nowhere.
I thought that the clothing line was first, and that was like the primary thing.
No.
And then that inspiration of doing that kind of led to doing the other things. I had no idea that that was not like the first primary thing.
No, the primary thing was the poetry. That was the primary thing.
Why didn't it work when y'all tried to?
Immature, and they really weren't serious. Plus, we didn't know what we were doing anyway. It wasn't like now where it's easy to find distributors or a graphic designer, and you can do print on demand and things like that. Like, technology wasn't that quite advanced yet. We talking 2007, 2008.
It was a lot more difficult to do certain things, or at least it took longer.
Exactly.
To do things back then. Have you ever communicated with them people since then, and have they seen that you've been able to do this on your own?
I don't know, unless they've been nosy and been watching me. I don't think so. So I don't know. I haven't really talked to them in a long time, but that's why it's kind of ironic now. I have a clothing line. Like I said, it wasn't the goal, but once I put out a couple shirts, sold some of those, and then I kind of looked at them. I'm like, you know what? I think I could put out a better quality. So then I started playing with some stuff, tweaking some stuff, because I already, had the designs that my former business consultant did. So all I had to do was take those and put it on different items. See, like, well, how does this company print this? How do they print this? And now I'm finally starting to get my merch like right where I want it. Like, it's looking good. People are interested. Like, man, I like this. It looks really good. So it fits good, feels good. So I'm just now like really getting my stuff where I want it to be. So
I'm glad you're taking the time to see what options are there first, because a lot of people will just go for the very first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go for the very first thing and it doesn't end up coming off the way you want it to, then you kind of put yourself in a box, not in a box, but you're digging a hole for yourself, because then other people realize the quality's not there. So then you got to dig yourself out this hole, because your first foot forward, you done already buried yourself by using something that might not, cater to what you need.
Well, I did kind of have that happen in the beginning. And like I said, even though I still got compliments on my shirts and things like that, to me personally, I felt it could be better. And it wasn't even so much the brand of the shirt, it was how my designs printed on the shirt.
How so? See, I don't know how this works. I don't know
because maybe the print looked kind of faded and didn't make the quality look as good, or looked like it already been washed a few times already, and the color wasn't as distinct as it should be. That's what I said. Now trying different brands and companies, like, oh, okay, I like this, And
so they send you samples first of what it would look like.
Yes, you can order samples first, and that's where I kind of made my mistake the first time, because I was just in such a rush to get the poetry out there. But I'm like, no, I need to focus on everything, because really my merch has been selling too. So, so that needs to be top notch as well, because we about our clothing, like we got to look good.
I'm gonna tell you, this like literally the logo, the 7 logo, is literally what the first time I saw that logo, I believe you had. I think you had it on at the shoot, didn't you?
I did. I think I had on.
No. You had the Freedom one on.
Yes, it's still part of my brand, but it was the Freedom sweatshirt.
When I saw the 7 logo for the first time, and like at first, I remember you saying that you had your own line.
Yes.
But when I saw that shirt, I thought you was wearing somebody's like mainstream stuff, because the 7 just looked that professional. Yeah. And then when I put it together, wait a minute, 7 on. Wait, that's his joint, like, because I know it's sad to say, but it's like the stereotype of people that put out their own clothing. You have an idea what it's gonna look like. It's not a whole lot to it, but like you actually have images.
Yes. Actual
images. So I'm just like impressed by. That's why I'm getting that shirt before you leave.
Thank you.
Y'all, please support. Look, I cannot stress this enough. Support black business. Like, it makes a difference. It's very disheartening to us when you can post happy birthday
Yep.
on a D-list celebrities page who doesn't know who you are. But then when we want you to support us, you either say, nah, you ain't got the money, or you say, I'll do it, but can I get a discount?
Ooh, yes. But you know what? Thankfully for me, I've been blessed so far. I haven't had anybody ask me for a discount. Even when I have a sale, I've had most of my customers say, no, I want to pay full price. I was like, well, I mean, I'm doing the sale. Like, I'm not actually giving discounts. Like, it's a sale. Like, it's Christmas sale, Valentine's Day sale. Just, whatever sale I might be having at the time. Because I've only been in business maybe, 6-7 months. But I haven't had that issue. The only issue that I've had, people ask me for stuff I don't have yet. And I'm like, look, I'm a small business. I'm just getting started. So.
What is something that they've asked for that at that time you didn't have?
Sweat outfit. Like a hoodie to match with sweatpants to match. Gotcha. Like the whole outfit. But I'll definitely have that next winter. That's already in the works. Just like I got the windbreaker suit now, I just got this yesterday, as a matter of fact. So this is definitely going on the
perfect
site.
time, and you got it before the show.
Exactly. Just got this. I'm like, I saw it, mocked it up. I'm like, man, this will look dope. So, yeah, I'm definitely adding this to the store.
Now, is there a way, and I know this is, I can't speak for this because I don't own a clothing line, but, and I kind of also can't speak to this because I'm not a poet either. But is there any way that you usually can use both and cross promote? I know it's kind of difficult because, like the poetry is its own thing and the clothing line is its own thing. But do you think of ways where you can kind of combine the two in like a way?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So if you look at my design on the Go Bold sweatshirt and the Go Bold shirts that I have here on the table, that more so affiliates with my poem, It Doesn't Matter. And then also have a shirt, I don't have it on the table, that says, Lord, thank you for this day. And it has a design behind it. And
you got that shirt?
Yes.
Oh,
and that,
okay.
Yeah, that coincides with the poem, Lord, thank you for this day. So, so I do use that as a cross promotion.
I didn't know you had, I didn't know that you had the shirt.
Yes.
For Lord, thank you. I didn't know you had that.
Gotcha.
When is that? When is that? I'm so bad. I told you the last time I went on the website when we shot. Yeah. Lord, thank you for this day. When is that going to be available? That shirt.
It's available now.
It's available right now.
Available now.
So we got to make sure we're gonna have the information on the bottom of the screen there that you can go to. I'm telling you, look, it doesn't do it any justice looking at this stuff in front of the camera. It doesn't do it any justice. You actually have to order this stuff. Like literally, when I say the quality is there, the quality is there. And I'm honest. Like I tell people up front and I give them a warning. I'm like, look, if you want me to talk about something, if I don't think it's, legit, I'm going to tell you it's not legit. So I'm just giving you the heads up. And they'll be like, oh, it's all right, Kev. And I'll speak my mind. And they may be mad for a little while. Yeah. But at least I'm being honest. I am being honest about this stuff. It's other people who I can't say the same thing about their clothing line. But this right here is legit. Like, it's seriously legit. Now, you got the clothing line. You got the poetry.
Yes.
You're juggling a lot of stuff right now. Is there anything else right now that you kind of got your hand in the pot in, but you're still kind of like, you're already doing things all over the place. You're trying to kind of not completely work yourself out, but is there any other thing that you kind of got that you kind of sort of interested in?
Yeah, because it's hard to juggle all this stuff when you're still working 9 to 5.
See, making that money though. See, he don't want me to say it, but he is loaded.
Not loaded.
He's loaded, folks.
No, when I stop working 9 to 5, then we can talk about that. When I can hire you full time as my video shooter, this is the shooter right here. He when I'm coming up with all these short films and more videos, more content, and everything takes off, you on staff full time.
I'm glad to be on staff, but that does not take away the fact that you are loaded.
No,
so you being modest about it.
No, I'm just trying to make it. Honestly, I'm just trying to make it. Just trying to make it. So,
what else do you seem like you're interested in? Because you seem like the type that want to take on a lot of stuff. You're ambitious that want to take on everything.
Well, let me see. Of course, I've been back writing more poetry. So I'm definitely working on that more, and I want to add more things to the Seven Artifact Shop. But also, I plan on working on a couple of games for young adults to play, maybe families too, but working on games as well. And I would also like to write a couple books in the future as well, because I definitely have some life stories to tell. Definitely been through some things. So, and I feel like my story or stories could inspire and maybe help others out there.
It seems like entrepreneurs and people that go into business for themselves, they go through the most. I don't know. It seems like we go through a lot more, and maybe we use that as like a way to drive us to get to, the success behind it.
I think it does. I think sometimes when you do go through things, go through adversity, things that challenge you, it pushes you to go harder because you use that pain and put it into positive, like transform into positive energy. Because it's like my pastor said one time in a sermon, he was like, you have to experience pain to get to the joy.
He ain't lying. Great.
I felt that. I felt that.
That one cut right there.
Felt that. And I can relate that in regards to when I was about 13. I remember my grandmother passed away, my dad's mother or whatever, and we were at the repast after the funeral at St. Mary's in Norfolk. And my great aunt, I didn't even know she was my great aunt at the time. No, let me say aunt because she get mad when you say great aunt. But we just celebrated her.
I'm glad you cleaned that up before she watched.
We just celebrated her I don't know how many 21st birthdays, but we just celebrated that back in February. We had a nice surprise birthday party for her. It was great. It was a turn up. It was great to see my family. We had a great time. We had an open bar, all that good stuff. The food was great.
The infamous open bar.
Exactly. We had a photographer there, nice backdrops. We had a live band, everything. Like we had a great time, man. It felt good to get family together instead of a sad occasion or something crazy happening. But anyway, I remember my Aunt Jeanette. She got to talking to my mom at the repast, and my Aunt Jeanette introduced my mom to my cousin Brenda. Rest in peace to her too. And she introduced them. They exchanged information, and it turns out that we lived around the corner from each other. So, and me and my other cousins, my cousin David, Janice, Brianna, they stayed like one or two neighborhoods over from me. We all went to the same schools and everything. Didn't even know we were cousins. And I didn't know my cousins like that, especially my cousin David, because we were around the same age. He was just a year behind me. I remember seeing him, but I never knew we were related. Like we weren't like close friends or anything, but I remember seeing him and passing and things like that. So, but it's like if it wasn't for my grandmother passing away, and then my great aunt, which was her sister, linking up my mom and her daughter and everything, I probably would have never met my cousins that stayed right around the corner, or would have never known they were my cousins, and then I wouldn't know a lot of my family now. Because back then, I didn't even think I had that much of a family. I'm like, where my dad people at? Everybody else got family. Like, where mine at?
It's all about timing, man. I'm going to tell you. That possibly was the best timing after all. You considering everything that's going on now.
Yeah.
And then you find out that you got kind of this extended family.
Yeah.
I'm sure they know that they know about the entrepreneurship.
They do. Yes, they've actually bought some stuff from me. They did not ask for a family discount. They paid full price. They've been very supportive. They've been posting my items, giving me a shout out, telling me how much they love my stuff. I appreciate them dearly. So, they've definitely been very supportive.
That's
very supportive.
Now, I know everybody, has their own path of how they, put out their clothing line and come up with their designs. But I'm sure everybody has like those moments where they say, this is too much, this is frustrating, things go wrong, you get the wrong stuff back. Horror stories that make you want to say, I don't want to even do this anymore. Have you ever came close to saying, this is too much, I don't want no parts of it no more?
Yes.
How many times?
Maybe like 2 or 3.
Ooh.
Maybe.
I thought you were just gonna say once.
Only because, like I said, with the clothing thing, it is difficult, and the hardest thing is the consistency. Because just like recently, I had a bulk order because I needed to order a lot of items because I had a local store up here that wanted to purchase some of my stuff to sell in their store, and also to have it for when I go to pop-up shops, which I'm doing one this Sunday, March 20th.
7 artifacts worldwide,
At the
coast to coast.
Shako Bottle Swap Meet. Be my first one there. My second one overall. But like I said, I ordered some bulk items, and I guess like because the distributor I normally use to fill it couldn't fill it, they automated it to another one, and I did not like the quality that they printed with. I'm like,
So they didn't even tell you that they was going to somebody else.
It did after the fact.
Ooh.
It did after the fact. Like it was already like in motion before I could go in there and stop it. Because sometimes when you use these companies or print on demand or something like that, it'll automatically route it to another company, but you may not get the same quality.
See, now I didn't know that. I just assumed that if something like that happens, if they do have to go to another company, it's like the same like quality of work. Yeah, and you have no idea what it's going to look like until you get it back.
Exactly. That's why for certain items, I had to change and go with another company that was more consistent or whatever. But I'm glad I did that because now I have a better product. So especially like my hoodies and stuff like that, drastically improved. Not that the other ones were always bad or anything like that, but I'm always trying to improve the quality of my product. I'm about the quality. You gotta have quality product, So, but anyway, I was going back and forth with the company over the quality of those hoodies, and
what did they say? Like what was their excuse? Like I'm sure they had a reason or some type of explanation or excuse.
They were just saying that sometimes this happens on bulk orders, especially when it's routed to a different distributor, different printer, whatever you want to call them. But at first it wasn't too bad working with them because they did refund me for like the first half, but then the other company that did the second half of the hoodies, they didn't want to give me a refund of credit at first. And I'm like, look, and I took another video for them. Like I did like 3-4 videos showing them like, look, it's not supposed to look like this. This isn't how my originals look. Like I can't put this out. It's not the same quality.
And they were still fighting to keep the money.
They were trying to, but I eventually got a full refund / credit or whatever because I just put that toward other items that I needed to purchase. So yeah, that's probably the hardest thing is trying to find the consistency and putting the best thing out there. So yeah, I had a few times where I thought about like, man, forget the clothes. I'll just try to sell my poetry.
You can't. You definitely can't forget the clothes after looking at that damn logo. Like you can't, man. That damn logo. Like I'm trying to tell y'all just don't understand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just had to lock back in and focus because, I just had to remember like, look, your stuff isn't bad. You just need to make it better because if it was bad, no one would sell it. No one would wear it. You wouldn't have 5-star reviews on Etsy. I haven't had any complaints or anything like that. So the only thing I might have had an issue with, someone might have got the wrong size shirt.
Oh, that's minor.
Or somebody's order might have been late. That's it.
That's still minor stuff.
Exactly. Like that's manageable. Like I can look into that. I can check into that. Let them know. Give them an update. Matter of fact, anyone out there ever has an issue with a product that you order from my store, just email us directly. 7artifacts@gmail.com. We'll take care of it.
See, that's why people need to realize. Cause I guess it's an allure of being able to say, I got my own clothing line, and a lot of people they want that allure to be able to say that. But they don't understand that there is an extensive amount of work that goes on behind this. This is not just you just design it and then you push it. It's like a lot that goes on in the background of this.
Yes, it takes a lot of work, and just getting the clothing right is just one aspect. You have no idea how many sample orders
You
I've
gotta go
had
through.
in the past few months since I've started. Like samples of everything. Like I get something, it don't look right, back to the drawing board, But at the same time, I'm glad I do that now so I can make sure that it looks correct before I add it to my store. So that I always get samples first. I don't add anything to my store until I have samples showing that's correct. I'll get some opinions. I'll show some of my friends, show my family, see what they think. So and they'll be straight up and honest with me. Like I'm not feeling this one.
How you handle the stress, man? This you do so much, man. Like how do you even how is you not pulling your hair out? Cause it's too much. And like you said, you got a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You juggling all this at one time.
Yeah.
How do you not smoke? How do you not smoke?
Honestly, I just feel like with everything I've been through leading up to this, prepared me for this. Because I always look at it like, it could be worse.
Yeah.
I've been through worse situations where I've had to deal with, doing things on my own or trying to get things straight or people not doing what they say they're going to do. So I can't get into too much detail. You have to read it.
Yes, you can.
You have to read it. You have to read it in my book. You got to say. I got to say that from my book.
See, everybody always has to put it in the book.
Well, I can't tell everything because then there's gonna be no point in writing a book. You're gonna know everything already. You're not gonna want to read it.
That's true.
That's true. So but yeah, when you've been through tougher situations, trying to manage multiple things at one time, especially after losing two of the most important people in your life, that'll test you. So compared to that, I'm not going to say this is a cakewalk, but it's like, you got to talk to yourself like you've been through worse. Like suck it up. Like get back to work. Like you got a good thing here.
I can't fathom losing a parent. Like that.
I couldn't either till it happened. It felt surreal for a long time. Matter of fact, it was just the 6th anniversary of my mom's passing like 2 weeks ago, March 4th, 2016. And I moved here to Richmond right after. So, because that's when I got the job offer. But one of the last things that we talked about and that she said to me before she passed, like, I want you to take the job. I didn't even tell her what the job was yet. I didn't even tell her what it was. I had to go to Richmond. None of that. She was just like, take the job. I was like, well, I ain't even give you the info yet, the rundown, so.
It's that mother's intuition, I'm telling you.
Oh, it definitely was because she wasn't doing well at the time. She was sick, but at the time I didn't realize how sick she was. Mm-hmm. And the crazy thing is the same day that I received a job offer that I almost didn't even know about because they emailed me, but I wasn't checking my emails at the time because we already had just went through the loss of my grandmother, which was my mom's mother, 3 months prior. She passed in December. So December 2015. So I wasn't even really looking at stuff like that. If it wasn't for them calling me,
you would have never.
No, and I wasn't even going to answer the phone because they called me from Ohio. Because the people that did the hiring process, it was in Ohio. So when I saw the Ohio number pop up,
that's the car warranty people.
Hey, I wasn't going to answer the phone. I wasn't. Like, when the guy talked to me, he was like, oh, like, you going to do the paperwork? I'm like, paperwork for what? The job. I'm like, what job? Like, you haven't seen the emails we sent? I'm like, no. So, but the crazy thing is the same day I got the offer or found out about the offer, I had to take my mom to the hospital. So it's like, I'm, experiencing pain and joy at the same time. Joy because I have a new opportunity, but pain because I don't know what's going on with my mom at the time. And I didn't even realize that she was sick, suffering from a rare disease as well as cancer on top of that. Had no idea. None whatsoever.
I hate cancer. I just feel like I think what I hate the most about cancer is that it's a cure for it. They can cure it if they want, but it's so much money.
All types? Or just certain types? Because I know they have it for certain types.
For whatever cancer.
Mm-hmm.
There's some cures for it. And it's just like they make so much money. So much money in the treatment that it's like There's certain stuff they can't cure. The pharmaceutical companies would lose their mind. Maybe that might be the what's the word I want to use? What's the when it's like a government cover up? What do you call it?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Yeah, that might be the conspiracy in me, but it's sad because there's a lot of people that's losing their lives.
That's right.
Over the value of the dollar.
That's right. But at the same time, and maybe it's just when it comes to certain things because big pharma is big business.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the rare disease that my mother had, they actually can treat it now. They couldn't treat it back then. And this is just 2016. This is just 6 years ago. But I guess they've done more research into it. And now they actually have treatments for it. Like it doesn't heal you completely, but it makes it, I think, so you
can
might
live.
be able to live with it, you know, and not, you know, you'll be able to, you know, survive, you know, a while longer, you know, maybe live somewhat of a normal life. But at the same time, I think another problem was at the time, they didn't know how to diagnose it because they didn't even find out what was wrong with her. It took them like 3 weeks. By the time they figured it out, she was in ICU. So, and then her body wasn't strong enough for them to do a procedure or anything. So then she ended up passing away. So, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I definitely had a lot on my plate back then. So
you got a lot on your plate now.
Yeah, but it was worse back then because, like I said, seeing my grandmother pass first, I was able to deal with that a little bit better though. Because she was 95 years old. She had a long, full, healthy life. She was still in her right mind before she passed away, excuse me. You know, she was able to still, you know, do certain things for herself and everything. She was self-sufficient for the most part. She was starting to slow down. But like I said, 95, I mean, how many people get to live that long?
Not many.
You know?
Not many.
Yeah.
I think the average now is like, what, 75? Maybe 80?
Yeah.
And even when you hit 80, it's like you're really surprised that people are still living past that. You said she lived to 95?
95. She was still going to church on Sunday. Would always be out there talking to her little friends on the phone, calling everybody, remembering people's birthdays. Like I said, her mind was still sharp. Sometimes she was trying to do too much for her age. I remember one day, I went over to my mom's house, and this was after we had her. It was like right after we had her 95th birthday party. She actually got stuck standing up because she had so much fun from walking around and going places and doing X, Y, and Z.
She got stuck.
She was stuck standing up. Her legs like locked on her or whatever. So I remember I had to go over there and help her get back in her chair. You know, the chair like the elderly people had, the one that you use like a walker, but you can sit in it too.
Oh, yeah. That folds.
Yeah. She had one of those, and I was trying to get her back in it. And that took a while to get her back in there because she didn't trust herself. She thought she was going to fall down. But I was like, no, Grandma, I got you. But then the crazy thing is, as soon as I got her in the chair and I rolled her back into her room, she had the nerve to try to get back up. I'm like, you just sat down. She was like, oh, I gotta, fix something.
She got the feeling back. She got that
feeling
back.
No, she didn't get nothing back. No, here's the funny part too. So she's like, well, I need something to eat. I'm hungry. I was like, I'll fix it for you or whatever. She's like, no, I got it. You go ahead back to work. You go back to the shop. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Go ahead and try to get up there. Next you know, she's like,
why you challenge her?
Huh?
You challenged her.
Nah, because sometimes our elders are stubborn. Because as we get older, we become the adults. The parents and grandparents become like the kids. We have to be the voice of reason. That's exactly what happened. So she's like trying to get up, and then I was like, so what did you want again for breakfast? And I just went in there and made it, and that was that. So just a funny story I had. I'll give you that. That'll be in the book. I'll give you that.
You give me that.
Yeah.
When are you gonna start the book?
Oh man, honestly, I tried to start it a few years ago. I
heard that's not easy either.
It's not, because it's overwhelming because you're trying to recall everything event from event, in chronological order at how it happened. Trying to piece things together, you know, because it's definitely a process. And also, I think it was also difficult for me because I think that I was still grieving and didn't even realize it because everything happened so fast. And I didn't even realize till like a couple years later, like, you know, I still need to sit down and kind of like, you know, address some things, think about some things, you know, because all this stuff happened. And next, you know, I'm moving to Richmond, starting a new job, trying to start a new life. And I really didn't have any closure on my old life, you know. Like, I never really had closure on the previous chapter. And here I am writing a new one. So, but I don't know, hopefully one day, you know, when 7 Artifacts gets rolling, I get some more poetry out there. Hopefully I'll sit down and work on the book, but it's, you know, it's going to be tough doing that and, you know, still working a regular job and all those things too.
I don't see how you get it all in. I just don't see how you get it all in.
Well, I think it helps being single and not having kids, you know.
Man,
so
don't get me started, man. I'm about to get you in trouble, man.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't get me in trouble. I've been in enough trouble in my life. I don't need any more trouble.
So is that one of the things that you don't want to go in, because you know what I'm about to bring up.
Nah, let's not bring that up. Let's not do that. But I hope to have, you know, a wife and family someday, and all those things is definitely still on the table. But basically, like, I don't know if you heard of Anthony O'Neill. He has a podcast. He used to be down with Dave Ramsey, but now he got his own thing. I know you've seen him. He was probably the only black guy on the Dave Ramsey team at the time. But anyway, he started his own thing. He's always talking about getting out of debt or not getting into debt, managing your money, building wealth, stuff like that.
Valuable stuff to know.
Yeah. So yeah, he's pretty good. But he's been talking about lately, from what I've been looking at, is maximizing your single season. So I figure I better do this now, because when wife and kids come, I'm not going to have as much flexibility, probably not going to have as much time. Hopefully it could be a family thing where I can add them involved too, but it's still going to be a challenge. So if I already have these things rolling, I think it'll be easier to kind of incorporate later on down the line.
Kids, man, you know, kids expensive, man.
They are. I know how expensive I was, you know, because I ate a lot. And then, excuse me, you know, I'm tall, 6'4", so I was always growing out of stuff. So
yeah, I had the Jordans.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even get my first pair of retro J's till I was like 16. That's when I had my first pair. I never forget. My dad bought me the patent leather 11s, black and red ones, the Breads. I think that Christmas. I think I was like 16.
Well, why don't you get a? You know what? You get a shoe line next. You ought to
Shoe
do that
line?
next. Yeah. I don't know anybody locally that's doing that though.
I don't either. But see, the only problem with me, because I have big feet, I don't even know if I would be able to wear my own line. Because that's another problem I run into as well. So when I look at different distributors or companies that make clothes, I need to make sure that they make stuff in my size too, because I'm the walking billboard. Because how I look, I can't even wear my own line. You know, so that's another challenge with me being tall. I had to make sure I had stuff that I can wear, so when people look at it, like, oh man, I like that. Where can I get that from? So
you could picture, like, I don't even wear it. I don't even wear my stuff. I wear this for the people.
No, gotta wear my. Yeah, I gotta wear. No, I gotta wear my stuff. That's why I want to get it also to where I like it as well, because you don't want to wear something that you wouldn't wear yourself. Yeah. You know, so that's another thing I've been working on as well. Like, I even started like purging my closet of like other brands and stuff, because it's like, why am I wearing someone else's stuff? I have my own now. So that's why I'm trying to come up, you know, with stuff like this, the windbreaker sweatsuit, the heavy sweatsuit, the shirts, polo shirts, hats, Scullies. It's like, I'm trying to have it all. I'm trying to be covered all seasons. I even got tank tops coming for the summer.
Man, you prepared. You are prepared.
Got to.
The clothing line, man. Remember Platinum Fubu?
Yes.
With the Fat Albert on.
Yes.
I felt like that didn't go nowhere long though. Like, I didn't like regular Fubu. But I like platinum FUBU.
Well, I was more of a regular FUBU fan.
Really?
Yes, because I definitely had FUBU when I was in middle school, the real and the fake, because my dad used to buy the knockoff stuff for me sometimes or whatever. I remember we had like some of the like Chinese or Oriental hair stores back home.
You
Even
just had the 05 jersey.
That too. Well, I didn't have that.
You had the jersey?
Nah, but I remember I did have this FUBU shirt. It was like some kind of off orange yellow color. I think it was like a gold, and it had FUBU on the front. But I knew it wasn't real, but it still looked dope. Like sometimes even the knockoff stuff looked dope. Like I remember way back when they also used to have these jeans too, or shorts. And it'll have like the Timberland symbol on the back. But you know Timberland didn't make them. But it looked dope. They stitched it up there and it looked cool. Like it's like sometimes like if it looked bad, you get fried. But if it didn't look that bad,
they let you slide.
Yeah, just like I remember this one guy, I was in middle school with, he used to have these Nike jeans, and I thought it was dope because it had like the Nike symbol, like Nike Air, the swoosh, but then it had like a rainbow with some clouds.
Wait,
but that shit looked dope though.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, it was like on the back of the jeans, but it looked dope.
I got to look this logo up, and as soon as I'm gonna find the exact timestamp when we talk about that, and I'm gonna put that there because I've never heard of that.
Yeah, like sometimes the counterfeit fake stuff back then looked better than the stuff they sold in the store, you know. But you know, at the same time, I think these brands wanted to put out more. But, you know, back then it was probably, you know, so expensive and, you know, probably couldn't put out with so many designs at one time and things like that, you know.
There was so many of them. You had Boss.
Yeah.
You had Karl Kani.
Nautica, Tommy Hilfiger, Polo.
See, I couldn't afford Tommy Hilfiger. I always got the Tommy gear, like the accessories, because I could never afford that stuff. So I'd get the keychain at that time. Like, I never could afford the shirts.
The only time I was able to get that stuff is if they had it at Value City. That's what my dad used to take me sometimes. It just depends. It depends. Like sometimes I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It just depends. Most of the time my dad, he was trying to find a deal. Like he didn't mind like buying the brand sometimes, but it had to be a deal. Now my mom, she won't buy no brand. There was only two items. This is sad because I remember both of them. Only two items she ever bought for me that was name brand going up. And that's because they were on sale. It was a good deal. One was a Nautica jacket. It was on sale. And
was it the windbreaker?
It was heavier than the windbreaker. It was
I know everybody had the windbreaker.
It was like a lightweight jacket, but peep this. This is another reason why she liked it. So in the collar, it had a hood in it, tucked in it. So it was also a raincoat too. So when you wanted the hood, you just pull the straps up out the collar, put the hood on. Didn't need the hood, tuck it back in the collar.
Yeah.
Man, I got some good wear out of that jacket. I ain't gonna lie, it lasted for a minute. I think it took me from like middle school, maybe 7th, 8th grade to probably my sophomore year. And then the other outfit that she bought for me that was name brand, just because it was on sale, it was back to school. It was a Rockaware velour outfit. It was like denim color. That jacket was tough too. Like, I thought I was Jay-Z for real. I just needed a chain, blue Yankee hat. Man. I did get the blue Yankee later on to match it.
Does he still make, does Rockaware still exist?
It's under Paper Planes now.
Okay. Because I know when Rockefeller split, I know Dame got his split.
Yeah.
Biggs got his split.
Yep.
And Jay got his split, but I didn't know who got what.
Yeah. I forgot how that went. But
I know Dame didn't get the music because he did. He had Dame Dash Music Group.
Right.
And I don't even know what Biggs got.
Well, you know, he was gone for a little bit. You know, he did some time and then he came back out. So I don't really.
He was kind of like not Baby. He was kind of like Slim from Cash Money. He was like in the background. He ain't never
silent partner. He was a silent partner. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was involved in stuff, but he didn't want to be, you know, in the limelight. You know, he was more of a background kind of guy or whatever. So
like Shad from the Neptunes.
Exactly. Exactly.
I just want to be in. He said before. He said the reason why he didn't want to like be like exposed like that is because he loves being able to just go to the grocery store. He loves being able to just go out and do stuff because a lot of people, they know him, but they're not familiar with him.
Yeah.
So he loves that independence of not having to go out and get. I'm sure people still recognize him,
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're not running at him like they're running at Pharrell or Chad.
Yeah.
So
especially since you don't really like see or hear from Chad much anymore, you know. So, cause you know how it is. When you in business or entertainment, anything like that, you know, you're just trying to, you know, be successful and make the money and provide for your family and your loved ones. You don't really need all the fame and all the other stuff that comes with it. You know, you're just trying to make sure, you know, your family is well off.
Which is what you're trying to do with.
Basically, like, I'm not trying to get famous. I'm just trying to leave my mark, you know, because that's what Seven Artifacts is about. Completed works are timeless. Like, how will you leave your mark? So by me writing these words, having my brand, and working on other things as well, that's how I'm going to leave my mark, because my stuff, my words are still going to live after I'm long gone. Just like your music's still going to be around. These recorded podcasts gonna be around. So the videos we've done. Oh yeah, shout out to James.
I was great to say, man. You gotta shout him out.
AKA F.Low, BKA Flip Barson, Hot Bars Music Group.
I still only know him as F.
I know he just changed to Flip Barson one day, but I get it, because he's trying to say I flip bars, son. Like, I had to think about it.
The rebranding, you know.
Yeah.
But I still, it's just like, I forget, and I still call him F.
Yeah. Also check out his mobile car repair business, Street Speed Unlimited. Also, shout out to Nikki Christian. She does music as well, but she also helped us with the video. Lord, thank you for this day.
Sure enough did.
Yeah, she has music as well. So yeah, shout out to Nick. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anybody.
There was somebody in the video.
What? Oh yeah. Shout out to Stephanie Jones and her sons for being in the video for me. And also shout out to my church here in Richmond, Motivation Church.
Cold Cash.
In Richmond. Also come check us out, Motivation RVA. But we also we shot a good portion of the video there. Mm-hmm. So shout out to them for allowing us to do that. So yeah, I think I covered everybody. Oh, and shout out to Marcus Grant for being in the video.
I was going to say, man. I was like,
for playing the police officer during the accident scene. I think that's everybody.
That video is on YouTube.
Yes.
You need to check it out. You really need to check it out. It really speaks volumes. There's a lot of people who take life for granted. Yes. And when you watch it, you'll appreciate life a little bit more, because you never know when your days are numbered. I don't want to say days are numbered, but you don't never know when your time is going to come.
Exactly.
So what I got out of the video after I watched it was I live life more meaningful.
Yes.
Like I live my life as if it could be taken away at any moment. So, and I ain't going to give away, I'm not going to just go on YouTube and check it out. We'll make sure we have the link down there for you to check it out. Yes. You're going to be doing a performance for us. You're going to be doing a poem.
Yes. Yes.
This is the thing. I don't think you expected it at first.
No, I didn't.
Because what I try to do here at the Kevolution RMX is I kind of want to have, depending on the guests that come on here, if you do poetry, if you rap, if you sing, I want to end the segment with a live performance, kind of like an AOL Unplugged sort of deal. So I literally did not tell you until you came through.
You didn't give me any time to prepare anything.
Well, see, I was scared if I told you earlier, you was going to be like, no. So that's why.
Wow. Well, nah, if anything, like you say you want me to do it, I would have tried to prepare for it. You know me, I'm one of them people, I like to be prepared, because normally when I'm not, there's normally when I mess something up. So I always try to be prepared. And also, even though when you're prepared, things don't always go according to plan, it makes it easier to improvise too, because you already have an idea of what you want to do.
That's true. Well, look, you're gonna be fine, man. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'll make it work.
Look, this is nothing to you. You got.
I don't know about all that.
The only thing I'm waiting for now, I'm waiting for the album. That's what I'm waiting for. Is that what y'all? Is that what spoken word and poets call it? They still call it an album too?
Oh, I don't know. I guess so. I'm new to this. It still doesn't even feel like I'm a poet sometimes. Like, I have to remember that, because to me, I'm just jotting down my thoughts. I'm just expressing myself. Like I still need to do a spoken word, which basically what I'm gonna do now. I guess you could say, because I've been so focused on getting the business going, building the brand, I haven't really even looked into it, especially with COVID too.
Yeah.
So, because you have to remember, I'm always working on my website, my product, social media. So, because I create my own content and things like that for right now. Getting ready for pop-up shops and buying stuff I need for that to enhance my presentation. So, just working on a lot of things at one time. So
That's a lot. I told you juggling. You gonna have gray hair in the.
I hope not. And then shooting videos, because we got a video to shoot April 2nd.
We do. That's gonna be here before you know it.
It is. So I need to get on the ball with that. Asking people, reaching out, trying to get my list together. Like I said, still writing poetry too. Started writing again. So copywriting my work, which isn't like a long drawn out process, but like I said, it's always
still a step.
Yeah, it's still something I need to do, and I need to start posting my new stuff on my social media platforms and things like that. I even made one of my poems an NFT.
Now, see, I need to learn a little bit more about how the NFTs work, because that's from what I'm hearing, that's like the new thing now.
Yeah.
So I really need to get on my NFT game because I'm behind in it, but I'm gonna get there.
I'm still learning too, man. So when you have a chance, we'll sit down, we'll talk. I'll enlighten you with what I know so far, because really, like, once my brand starts building, I feel like it takes off. That's like when my NFT will probably be worth something. But now it's just sitting there. But see, I'm trying to put this stuff in motion now, so that way when someone ask me like, oh, do you have an NFT or are you going to create one? I'm like, oh, I have one already. Boom.
You done beat them to the punch.
Got to, man. You got to stay on top of these things. That's what I said. It's a lot. Like, I haven't even thought about performing and stuff yet. I know I am going to do, hopefully perform at the Juneteenth festival by the Black Village RBA. I think they set up at Diversity Thrift. I think pop-up shop, but they also have performances. So, but I definitely plan to do that more in the future. Like, get out there more. Even one of my cousins, she was like, "Oh, well, maybe you could also do spoken word or do a performance from your living room."
That's not a bad idea. Go live with it.
Yeah, you're gonna be there because you're gonna be playing music in the background.
See, you putting me to work.
Hey, you gonna thank me one day.
I am. I'm trying to get out of that clocking in and clocking out. So yeah. But look, we appreciate you here at the Kevolution for coming out. It ain't over yet, y'all. It ain't over yet. We're gonna have a live performance he's going to be doing. It doesn't matter. Stick around after the performance. You'll see all the information. You'll see the upcoming events that he has coming up. 7 Artifacts. Y'all give it up. Y'all hang out here at the Kevolution. We're going to have something live for you.
Yes. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? I'm 7 Artifacts, and I'm going to perform my poem for you. It doesn't matter. Let's get it. No matter the texture or the style of my hair, or even the clothes that I may wear, it doesn't matter. Even if we serve together, defending the same flag, wearing the same uniform, protecting the same land, it doesn't matter. Even if I am highly educated and very well spoken, plenty of awards and accolades, I still may be looked at as nothing more than a token. It doesn't matter. Even if my life has no strikes, no blemishes or citations, all positive, no negative, and nothing but admiration, it doesn't matter. Hands up in the air, nothing in my hands, not posing a threat. I'm sure you'll find a reason, I bet. It doesn't matter. Even if I take a knee or my teammates lock arms with me or I take a stance silently, it doesn't matter. Whether I'm your entertainer or president, your pusher, your spiritual leader, or local resident, it doesn't matter. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. That's what they say. But if you succeed or surpass them, they may feel some type of way. It doesn't matter. If we make one mistake, that could be the end. We don't receive multiple chances. How come we don't receive the same grace as them? It doesn't matter. Even though we say the same grace, pray the same prayers, and worship at the same place, it doesn't matter. We had our own Wall Street in 1921, but then it was burned down and destroyed. We're still fighting the same battles in 2021. It doesn't matter. No matter what we say or what we do, what do they really see or think when they look at me and you? It doesn't matter.